rates in Australia are 4.75%, so you are getting paid money every day in a positive interest rate differential when you're long the Australian dollar versus the U.S. dollar or versus the euro or other lower yielding currencies. Now, the Australian dollar also has a very positive kicker in that since it's such a strongly based commodity, that it has got, for years you could actually trade the Australian dollar based off of what was happening with gold. And if gold had a significant move, back in the 80s, you know, if the gold were to sell off strong over Thursday or Friday, the Aussie buck would sell off. Now, this downturn was, again, part of the sell-off that existed as you saw the earthquake in Japan, the tsunami, the problem with the nuclear generation plants, and that, again, that actually shook me out of a long position that I had put on because I, using a stop loss, I had had it probably back at about the point I'm showing you here, and it managed to go down below there. And so classic example of a good bull market is something with those short, sharp shakeouts. You shake out the bulls that don't have the long conviction. Someone like Stanley Kroll would say, well, this area here, this 95.35, well, that's your low that you should be focusing on as a stop loss. You know, or he even be telling you, well, you know, your primary trend is not changed until you take that out. So now and again, look, we're up to 104 here, and I know my co-presenter Joe, we've talked about this at substantially lower levels, and so now we're watching it up at 104, and looking at it, you know, on your 1 hour chart here, it's retraced back to its 200 period moving average. It's gotten some support, going back above its 50. So it's kind of continuing to chug along on the 5 minute. It's looking, you know, it's above all of its moving averages, the 200 period, the 50 period, the 21 period, are all denoted over here on the left-hand side. And it's, again, on good shape and accelerating here. This is actually the type of market where, you know, you say, well, gee, I'm scared it's high. I mean, this market's very high. And but in fact, right now, it's in technically excellent shape. You know, it's like, well, you know, I'm looking for a pullback to buy. Where would be a pullback zone? That top there at 102.30 would be an area, as would the 21 period be an area. But right now, this currency is in a bull market mode. I've had a lot of positive things to say about the Australian dollar for the last several years on Silicon Investor, and one of the interesting things about Deutsche Bank is that you can go in. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find this real quickly. If they've got reports, let's see if they've got trade settings and symbols, links. They actually show you their, not sure where it's going to be. They actually show you what they pay you on the roll for each of the currencies. So now, as a short-term, if you're trading short-term, Australian dollar is doing all the right things right here. As you can see, it's been strengthening as we've been talking about it. It's like we know about it. Um, the daily chart in a bull mode, above all its moving averages, you haven't had a crossover of your MACD, so that's still strong and has not crossed, as you can see. So that's in a bull mode across the board. Hourly basis, you came back to your trend line, and hey, you bounced off of it, and where they sold it here at the 50, now they're buying it, and they're like back in buy mode, and they're like, we love the Australian dollar. You look at the 5-minute chart, and it's like, yep, we like the Aussie buck. It's above all its trend lines. It hasn't taken out this top right here, but it very well may well be shooting out its top. I mean, as a matter of fact, we might stick on a trade. The 1 minute, let's see. So right now, there's no indication there's nothing here that says that there is a meaningful reason to short it here. My God, you would be doing everything wrong in terms of going against trend trading, going against something that's paying you a positive interest rate differential, not necessarily saying, in terms of all of this momentum, do you run in and buy it right here? Yeah, you probably can watch it pull back to here, or watch it pull back some. But for a market that's intact, and now obviously until on the hourly chart, until you get back here, you've not made a new high. But I would say that we'd be going back retesting that and probably making a new high. There's just that type of fundamental strength involved in this currency. There's need to really be continuing to focus on. You've got something that's been in the trend, just a well-defined trend, a trend that goes down. This one really excites me because you've gone down to a low on the daily chart. You're at it. You're, again, on the hourly basis, you're trending down. It's below the 21-period moving average. Looking at the 5-minute, it's done all the right things. I mean, it's not made a new low, but it's not rallying above its resistance here at 89.60, 89.86. So, and just to show you how you can actually put a trade on, well, again, here it's been selling off, and but this is where the money management calculation comes in. You're at something that's at a low, and it's in a triangular formation. So if this is your flat bottom, I guess we could put a line in that would illustrate that. Add a line. And I don't know if this is going to be a horizontal line or there's your horizontal line. And so, okay, that's your support. And you're in a triangle type of formation that it's not going to look, okay, you'll have to practice with it in presentations. But this may work its way up towards this area. That would be the ideal place to sell it. And but yet I'll tell you that this thing, I expect the U.S. dollar to continue to weaken against the Swiss franc. And we covered a lot of terrain here tonight in rapid fashion. I guess, well, as this thing continues to break down, we could put on a short. Well, you see the Aussie strengthening, you see the Swiss strengthening, dollar weakening. This is really the type of market that, looking at this 5-minute thing where you've got a trend in force, and I don't see things to mitigate it. You could put a stop loss right there at 189 86, and you may as well be at 89.91, and so it's possible to stick a position on with a stop loss there. So let's actually go ahead and stick a position on with the stop loss, because the thing is, okay, so we're going to go in and sell this. So this is about the risk that we want to take. We want to set up a profile where our rewards 4 times our risk, and we're looking at our 5-minute chart. Really, right now, not thinking, well, 89.90 is a level we're looking at. So we can just simply go in. Deutsche Bank gives you the simple functionality of being able to, okay, here's the U.S. Swiss. So we'll sell the U.S. against the Swiss, 100,000 units. So we've entered that, and then we've opened it at 89.65. We're short 100,000 units, 100,000 U.S. dollars against the Swiss, and we can stick a stop loss in at, okay, let's, as we were saying, 89.90, and I'm changing my stop to 89. For 89.90, I'd really almost like to go 10 basis points above it, where 9002, and then as you see, it does a very nice job of calculating $406 stop loss. Now, if you're working with an account that's a 50K account, really each position you put on, you should be looking to have your stop loss at $1,000, where it's a 2% stop loss. So in theory, we could actually whack that up to a $200,000 position. So we're not following the total rigor, but as you can see, here's our stop loss. Here's the stop loss on the chart. The red line up here, so it's kind of giving you ample room on the 5-minute chart. On the 1-minute chart, you'll see, on the 1-hour chart, well, again, you're above the that downtrend, and I think if you started to draw a downtrend line, as we get presentationally better at doing this, let's see if we add a line by a trend. Let's add that line up. Okay. Anyway, so you've now gotten to see us put on a position live time with some thought planning behind it. Going with the primary trend. Here's our 1-minute chart. It's live. And, this is the glory of picking good entry points, because as you can see, we've got a little green arrow here, and the green's telling us yay because it's going down, which is what we want it to do. There you go, breaking down to a new low on the 1-minute chart. So this trade's already, positive, breaking down further. Gotta love that. We could already turn around and stick a stop loss to make